He's 7 years old. He's crazy about baseball. He's Brendan Moran. This is the Brendan Moran Show.
Welcome back to the Brendan Moran Show. Sorry, we had a few delays last time. We couldn't get it working, and then we went camping, so now we are here. And today we'll be talking about, you might hear or you haven't heard that in the National League, we have the San Francisco Giants, the LA Dodgers tied for the wild card.
I think right now they're just let's pull it up here.
So if the Dodgers win today and the San Francisco Giants lose, they are tied for wins and losses.
Yeah, so if the Dodgers win today and San Francisco loses, technically I think the Dodgers win the division because they've beat the Giants more times. So they could end up tied, but the tiebreaker is win-loss record against each other, and I think the Dodgers have the better record currently.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be interesting, but the National League wild card race is pretty much sewn up. It's either going to be Dodgers or Giants, and then the St. Louis Cardinals. But the American League one is crazy.
Yeah. With the with the Tampa Bay, the Boston, the Yankees, and the Blue Jays. Right now for the tie for the wild card is the Boston and Yankees, both tied with wins and losses.
Yeah, right now the Yankees and the Red Sox are 91 and 70. They are the top two wild card teams, but one game back, Seattle Mariners, and also tied with the Mariners are the Toronto Blue Jays at 90 and 71. So if the top two teams, Red Sox and Yankees, lose today, and the Mariners and the Blue Jays win, that makes for a four-way tie for the two. And I don't even know how they do the tiebreak. I think they would do 2 games tomorrow. I would assume. Let's see.
I would assume that 2 teams play each other, and then the teams that win play each other for the win. That's how it should go. Like, it could make it, that would be even. Right now we're going to be looking at the American League for the division leaders. It's the Astros, the cheating Astros, the White Sox, and Tampa Bay. And then for the wild card teams, for the leaders, we have the Boston and New York Yankees for the wild card. That's for the American League. Then let's go down to for the National Division leaders, San Francisco, and it's the Braves, and I always forget the one that looks like a glove.
The Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, the Milwaukee.
The Brew Crew.
Yeah, Brew Crew. And then, like I said, I didn't say this yet, but for the National League wildcard teams, we have the LA Dodgers and St. Louis.
So I pulled up an article here from MLB.com, and it talks about if all 4 teams in the American League end up tied. So what would happen is, in that scenario, the Red Sox would get first choice, Blue Jays second choice, Yankees third, and the Mariners get the leftover spot. So most likely the Red Sox would host Club B, and Club C, most likely the Blue Jays would host Club D. So for the Yankees, it would come down to a choice of traveling to either Boston or Toronto. The winners of those 2 games on Monday. So all 4 teams would play tomorrow. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
And then they would the winners of those would face each other Tuesday in the wild card game. So you'd have 2 games that are must wins.
Yeah.
If you lose, you go home. It's all over.
Yeah. I'm especially excited for the for the Blue Jays, the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, and the Tampa Bay. I'm really excited to see if the Yankees and Boston lose and Tampa Bay and Blue Jays win, then we have a 4-way tie.
Well, as a Yankees fan, I'm not looking forward to that. I just want the Yankees to win so that they're in the wild card game.
I don't think you can get past Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay has been tough, and they've beat them pretty soundly the last 2 games. You know what I am excited for, though, is the National League, your division, your favorite division, the National League West. I'm interested to see if the Dodgers can win today and if the Giants lose, making the Dodgers the National League West division champions. 106 games they would both win, and after 162 of them, they would be absolutely tied. That just blows my mind.
And then one team knocks out after 106 wins. Like, what the?
Well, yeah, to win 106 games, more than any other teams in the league.
And then they get knocked out.
And you have to play in a wild card game.
And then
And if you lose that one game,
you're just out. You're out.
Does that seem fair to you?
No.
What do you think MLB should do about that?
I think if two teams should get the wild card, and there should be 8 teams in the playoffs, and the 2 teams that made the wild cards would go to the playoffs, and the 2 teams that got the wild card would play, and the other 2 teams the 2 teams that were the best that won for the division would play each other, and then whatever teams win from those face each other, then winners, and same thing for vice versa for the same thing of the other 4 people in the playoffs, and the last 2 teams stand and play each other. I think that's how it should go. I
really like the way they did it last year because of COVID, where the top 2 teams in each division got in, and then I think they had like a wild card team or 2. Have to go back and look at that exactly. But I really enjoyed the way that worked out for the season.
Yeah, why don't they do that again?
I don't know. Maybe we should write some emails. Maybe we can get the commissioner on here and we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he'd come on the podcast?
Yeah. The two players I want on here is, well, actually 3. Ketel Marte, David Peralta, and the guy who's from the Nationals. He had 3,000 strikeouts.
Max Scherzer. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to any of them. So.
And also, it was the crazy guy who hits a lot of home runs, makes crazy plays from the Dodgers. Mookie Betts, yeah, Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts would be great to have on as well. Well, we'll have to work on that. I'm sure they're watching the podcast, so if they are, hopefully we can get them on. Maybe we can call their agents.
Yeah, and like I said, if you send any text like on YouTube and it says and you give me any questions, I'll try to answer as many questions as I can on the podcast. If you say, if you're a Yankees fan and you're watching this, you can send me a text. Hey, can we start talking more about the Yankees and how they're doing? Like, I know my dad loves
I think one of the problems is with YouTube, they don't allow, because you're a kid, and somehow this gets classified as for kids, which I guess it is true, but it's also for adults. They don't allow comments on kids' videos. So maybe we'll have to set up like a Twitter account.
Yeah.
Or an email address. Like, just send us an email with a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll set that up.
Yeah.
And we're going to try and set up a Patreon account so that if you want to support the show, you can do that. And we may do some bonus material for our Patreon subscribers. And
when we get that email thing and you want to have any players come in, just text us and we'll try and get them in.
Maybe we can get some Brendan Moran Show merch. What do you think about that? People walking around with T-shirts with your face on it?
No. There's a Diamondback symbol with my name in script at the top. And
are we allowed to use the Diamondback symbol?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
And then we put rattlesnakes all around the Diamondback symbol.
That'd be kind of cool. What do you think about the wild card series? Brendan, every time you do that, people are like, "Why are you touching the screen?" It's going to record no matter what, so you're good. Just want to keep the production value up here, so people are like, "Why is he always touching the screen?" I see his hand coming towards the camera. What do you think about the wild card series instead of just being a one game and done playoff? Why not best of 3?
Why not both? Like I said, the 2 best teams that from the division go to the playoff. Then the 2 best teams. No, the 2 best teams from the NL Central, the National League. The 2 best teams that no teams from the wild cards go into, and then the 2 best teams that are trying to get the wild cards should go into, and that's the same thing for the American League.
Yeah, I mean that is a possibility.
Yeah, why don't they do that?
Because I just don't think it's fair that one of these teams that won 105 plus games. Right now the Dodgers have 105. I think is it 105?
Yeah, it's 105, and then the
Giants have 106, right?
Yeah.
I mean that is just crazy in this era of baseball to win that much. And then one of them, the 2 best records in baseball. I'm looking at all the records. Tampa Bay won 100, which is very commendable. But 106, 105, they were at each other's heels all year. And for a while, the San Diego Padres were in there, and then they just fell apart.
Yeah.
Even though Tatis and Machado had pretty good seasons. And Joe Musgrove as well, who you have that signed baseball that you regret. So those 2 teams...
I don't know my friends heard about that. That's going to be in big trouble.
106 and 105 wins, and one of them is going to the wild card. And
then whoever loses...
If they have one bad game, they could be out. That just seems crazy to me.
And especially if someone throws a perfect game against... Like if the Dodgers throw a perfect game against San Francisco throw a perfect game with no hitter, that's going to be disappointing and embarrassing.
It would be very embarrassing. You put in all that hard work all season.
Yeah, and then to knock it out, and you get knocked out from being for the wild card, and then someone throws a perfect game against you, and you thought you were really good. That'd be so embarrassing. And then you're knocked out, and then you can't win it.
So today, the Diamondbacks have a chance to win their 52nd game, and if the Orioles lose, that means they would both be tied for the worst record. Any predictions for next season?
I'm not talking about it.
Are you disappointed in the Diamondbacks this year?
Yeah, I'm really.
Okay. How about a prediction for the AL wildcard? Who are the 2 teams that you think are going to make it in? Out of Boston, New York, Seattle, or Toronto, who are going to be the 2 that make it to the wildcard game?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay is not in the wildcard, though. They've already won the division.
Oh, it's probably the Blue Jays and the Yankees or the Boston. I'm going to say for the Blue Jays and Boston.
So you're saying Toronto and Boston will be the 2 wildcard teams?
I don't like the Yankees, so I'm not. No.
Okay, so you're going to be sleeping on the streets tonight.
No.
You always make fun of your dad's team.
Yeah, because they stink.
They stink. They won 91 games. How many games did your team win?
Let's see. They
51?
won 51. That's
They almost doubled.
That's like 40 less. 40 isn't big. It's only 40.
Oh,
40
only
less
40. You only won 51, but 40's nothing. Okay. We'll talk about this more next episode.
Oh, by the way, Yankees stink. No one likes the Yankees. Yankees don't work hard enough. Aaron Judge doesn't do anything.
You're losing all your Yankees fans out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're fans of the Yankees, not the Diamondbacks.
Okay. Let's try and get some episodes this week. We'll talk about the playoffs as they go on. Maybe we can do a special wild card game, and if that 4-way tie does happen, maybe we'll do a Monday afternoon update where we can, give some scores and some scenarios as they play out. Anything else to add before we sign off?
I'm gonna go right now to the Diamondbacks because I want to see how Ketel Marte is doing. Yeah, I'm trying to get this loading. My iPad has been slow. I want to see how Ketel Marte is doing. See his average.
I'm trying to pull it up here too.
Yeah, like my screen just went totally black.
So in terms of average, let's see. He has let's see. He has a 319 average, but I don't know if he's played enough games to qualify. So he's done 89 games, and he's had 339 at-bats. I don't think he's had enough at-bats to qualify, but 319 batting average, 378 on-base percentage, slugging of 534, OPS of 912. He hasn't been doing that bad when he's in the game.
Yeah.
A couple stolen bases, 50 RBIs. Your man David Peralta batting at 259, 63 RBIs, 8 home runs, 8 triples, 30 doubles, and 126 singles.
Right now, I think my brother wants to come on. Let's introduce him. If you watched a few, like my last show, I think that was when we had some difficulties. So I don't think you could ever see him.
Yes.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Keegan Moran, and I play fall ball right now because it is fall where we are. So I heard you guys talking about his batting average. My batting average is 1,000, and my on base percentage is 1,000.
Just saying, right now, if you're wondering why it's fall here, we're in San Diego. We have nice weather. I have a few questions for you, Keegan.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, say you get into, say the Dodgers win, and then the San Francisco Giants lose, then you'll be tied to go in. Then you'll be tied to go into the wild card. But what happens if the Giants throw a perfect game against you? That would be embarrassing for your team. And they won all those good things. And I gotta say, they actually hit a few grand slams. Like, at the start of the season, they hit like 2 in one game. That was pretty exciting. So, what if the Giants throw a perfect game or a no-hitter against your Dodgers? Would that be embarrassing for you? I know that would be embarrassing for the Dodgers, and whoever thought they would be good, then they lost. That would be embarrassing. So, what do you say about that?
Yeah, that would be very bad and embarrassing.
For you? To you?
Yeah. Well, not to me because I'm not playing. But
Keegan, what do you think is going to happen in the final day of the regular season if the Dodgers win and Giants lose? The Dodgers are the National League West Division champions, so obviously you're rooting for that. But what's your prediction?
I'm predicting they're going. I'm predicting they're gonna lose.
Who's going to lose?
The Dodgers.
Oh, so
Ooh.
you think they're just going to go into the wild card?
Yes.
And what do you feel about the wild card game?
No, not so good.
Not so good, okay. But they've been doing pretty well against St. Louis.
Yes.
So I think they got a good shot there. And that's just such a talented team. And if you throw Max Scherzer out there on the mound in a one-game playoff like that, I got to like the chances of whoever Max is pitching for at the time.
Yeah. I mean, he's not old, but he's getting old to play baseball. Like, Tyler Gilbert, he's pretty good. His age is 27. He's thrown a no-hitter for his first career. But I think if he only struck out one person or two, he could have thrown a perfect game.
I'll be right back.
I think that's true. I think you're right about that.
Yeah, that's really true.
He came very close.
Mhm.
Okay, so why don't we wrap this one up, and we'll have some more episodes later this week.
Yep. Anything you want to say more, Keegan?
Yes. I had pancakes for breakfast. And they're good.
Well, this has been the Brendan Moran Show with special guest Keegan Moran. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Goodbye. And now sign.
Subscribe. And hit that like button.
Hit the like button like this.